Housing advocates are bracing for a surge in evictions in North Carolina now that the state's ban on evictions will end soon. WCNC Charlotte defender Savannah Levins has more on why experts predict a new and crippling crisis is on the horizon.
North Carolina's eviction moratorium, implemented to protect renters struggling financially during the pandemic, expired June 20th. That same week, Google searches for eviction notice in North Carolina skyrocketed. Landlords now able to begin eviction proceedings against tenants who have been unable to pay.
Whenever the moratorium for the state actually ended last month, we started seeing an insane uptick in evictions.
Jillian Secrease with Winston-Salem-based Housing Justice Now says they're predicting a mass housing crisis on the horizon.
People are scared. People are extremely scared.
Health experts also worry an uptick in COVID cases could follow, with thousands forced to suddenly seek new shelter or become homeless.
It's a public health issue.
25 U.S. cities have eviction filing rates higher than the national average. 5 of those 25 are in North Carolina, including Charlotte, which pre-pandemic averaged 25 homes evicted every single day. According to U.S. Census data, as of last week, 16% of North Carolina renters said they have no confidence they'll be able to pay next month's rent. 44% only had slight or moderate confidence. National housing researchers now predicting 1 in 5 of the 110 million Americans who rent are at risk of eviction by September 30th, 2020. Meanwhile, housing advocates on both the state and national level are pushing for new programs and scrambling to help those who are days or hours from being out on the street.
There's resources out there within advocacy and people that are wanting to help.
Savannah Levins, WCNC Charlotte.
And we have a list of local resources for anyone facing eviction or struggling to pay rent on WCNC.com/money or inside the WCNC mobile app. You'll find the information you need under the Money Resources banner.